Brian Jones is a McCain campaign senior advisor. Brian, we're about to hear Barack Obama's closing arguments in the next couple of minutes. Is that your version of the closing arguments, that voters should be afraid of a democratically ruled Washington?
Well, it's one of the things we'll be talking about as this election winds up, and it's an important distinction to make. Barack Obama has talked about spreading the wealth around. This new tape comes out today with him talking about redistributing wealth and the fact the Supreme Court didn't go far enough under the Warren Court. Barney Frank has talked about decreasing military funding by 25% when you have a war going on in Afghanistan and Iraq, and raising taxes. So I think it's an important point to make. And one other point I'd make, too, is we saw a version of this in 1993 and 1994 when the Democrats had the House, the Senate, and the White House. Taxes went up on working families. Taxes went up on Social Security recipients. Gas taxes went up. So the question is, at a time when the country is economically hurting, is an increase in taxes, is larger government the way we want to go? And obviously John McCain believes it's not.
Brian, this is what Barack Obama had to say about the potential for a democratically ruled Congress as well as a Democratic president. He said, what we need is a president who could mobilize Congress to actually get something done instead of continuing the gridlock that we've seen over the last 8 years. Doesn't he have a point?
John McCain has worked across the aisle his entire career. He's someone who has broke with the party on issues like climate change, torture. He's worked with Democrats on campaign finance reform. Barack Obama has not crossed the aisle in Illinois or in the United States Senate. John McCain has a proven record on that front, and he'll work across the aisle to get things done for the American people when he's elected president.
Brian, you know, we saw this morning the senator out with this economic team, I guess you might call it. We saw Mitt Romney, Jack Kemp, Meg Whitman from eBay is just to his right there. Is there a sense that he's gotten hammered over this economic issue for so many weeks now that this lineup here, it's pretty impressive. It's almost too late? Why didn't he roll these guys out and have these guys out front speaking for him weeks ago?
Mitt Romney, Meg Whitman, other members of this team have been speaking on behalf of John McCain throughout this election since he won the nomination.
They have here and there, but Brian, there really hasn't been a coordinated effort. I mean, that's a great photo op to see there for a guy that's been being hammered for weeks on this issue.
Well, again, he's been hammered on it, but at the same time, I think there's real distinctions in this election, and that's what we've been talking about. Elections are about choices. Under Barack Obama's tax policy, 56% of small businesses would see their taxes increased, and small businesses are the one sector of the economy right now that's creating jobs, helping to fuel the economic growth that's still occurring in this country. So we've been talking about the distinctions between John McCain and Barack Obama, and today just highlights that distinction.
Brian Jones is a senior advisor to the McCain campaign. Brian, thanks for being here. Just to point out, too, to our viewers.